Get down!
Hello campers, we're on our way to Stockholm. We stopped off at, was it Limpoking? I can't pronounce anyway, because we heard there was like an open air museum of Swedish life 100 years ago, where you have actors and costumes. So we thought that sounded quite good fun, but the rain was biblical this morning, and you know what? Suddenly it didn't seem so much fun. So we've decided to crack on down to Stockholm. We're still under the black cloud, but maybe up ahead we've got clearer skies. We've had lightning. I think we probably would have had thunder, except we can't hear it in Gus The Bus. Well, we arrived. We're here in Stockholm. That was a hell of a drive through the city. I gotta say, Geoff did a brilliant job, because navigating around those cobbles and down those little alleyways, oh my goodness, that was not for the faint-hearted. But anyway, we found our way to this place that we're staying at. Let me show you. This is the washing up window for the next couple of days. Let's have a look. There we are. This is where we're staying. So as you can see, we've got a view of the river. Isn't that great? So we're very central here. It's looking good.
It's the E part. Yeah.
Do you need another app?
I think I downloaded E part the other day.
How many apps are there?
Parking apps. I've got about 6.
Just been collecting parking apps.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go we need a different parking app. I don't think we're going to be going anywhere soon. The rain is back.
Yeah.
God, it was biblical. It was a biblical journey. Anyway, we're going to sit it out probably for the afternoon, although the weather over the next few days is not looking inviting. So the Vasa was commissioned by King Augustus Adolphus in 1625, and he wanted Sweden's largest ever warship. He wanted double the amount of cannons that a ship had ever had. The ship was originally designed as a 111-foot long ship, but the king wanted it to be 135, so it had to be modified, which meant that the heel was very shallow for that amount of weight, and that was the problem. So the ship went out into harbour. It was built, it was completed, but as it sailed out into harbour, before it even got out to sea, it basically sank. Luckily, most of the people that were on board it sailed to a little island. They got off, and there were 30 people left on board as the crew, and as it went down, all of their lives were lost. The ship was too big and too heavy, and basically it only took a medium gust of wind and the ship just tipped over and just went down beneath the waves. So fast forward to the 1950s, and in 1954 Anders Franzen started a search for the Vasa. He did it in quite a low-tech way. He dragged a grapnel behind the boat, and when it caught on something, it had a little cutting tool and it brought up a sample of whatever it had caught on. For 2 years he did this. He bought up all kinds of things: iron stoves, ladies' bicycles, Christmas trees, dead cats. He said lots to keep silent about. One day he brought up a piece of old black oak, and he was actually told at the time that it was probably just rubble. Whatever it was that was down there was rubble that had been dumped from the making of the dock. It wasn't rubble. It was the ship. It took him then a further 4 or 5 years to raise the money to try and get this ship up. It then took a further 5 years to work out how to get the ship up, and nobody thought it was possible. They drilled tunnels underneath it which were 1 meter wide, where the divers had to go down in jet black conditions, trying to work out underneath the silt how the ship was preserved underneath and whether or not it was even possible. The ship was surprisingly intact. Once they brought it up, they knew that it was going to immediately start degrading, so they had to work the whole thing out beforehand. And once they got it up, they started a nearly 20-year process of spraying the ship continuously with a substance called polyethylene glycol, which is actually in lipstick, which stabilized the wood and prevented it from drying out and cracking. They built a museum all around it. You can see the mast sticking out through the top of the museum, and it is really the most incredible thing. When you actually see it, it's wonderful. Happy birthday to Geoff. Happy birthday to Geoff. Happy birthday, dear Geoff. Happy birthday to Geoff.
And on my birthday, I get to cream Josh's nose.
Why is that a treat for you?
Well, because you won't allow me to do it for the rest of the year.
Well, it suits me actually.
That's this squirty cream.
We're starting our Geoff's birthday with a cake each today. We always share a cake normally. But today Geoff gets his own cake.
Yeah.
Because he's a big boy now.
Yeah, I'm a fully grown 77-year-old. Start behaving like an adult now. I don't know how that's going to leave you, Janis.
It's never going to happen, guys. So we're here in the middle of Stockholm, and it's really, really lovely. Just beautiful. Yesterday's weather was biblically awful and freezing, and it's a bit chilly today, as you can see from our coats. But you know what? The sun is shining. There is a huge black cloud that sort of drifts overhead.
It's autumn in August, basically.
It's autumn in August. But you know what? It's not raining, and the sun is desperately hanging on in there, and as far as we're concerned, that's a result. We absolutely loved Stockholm. Stockholm is not just one landmass. It actually encompasses 14 islands and has more than 50 bridges on the extensive Baltic Sea archipelago. Here we are. Yeah. We like Stockholm. It's beautiful here. It's really nice, but very blowy. We haven't decided what we're going to do this afternoon. We're just meandering and wandering, but we might take Flynn back.
Well, if we take a good shot of the sky over there, look, that's summing the day up, because it comes blue at the same time.
That cloud is not going anywhere, is it? It really is wonderful, and it has a great energy to it, and we loved the old town, and we loved all the live music that was on, and it was a place that we would absolutely love to come and spend more time. The only problem for us was that we landed here in unfortunately in the wrong week. I'm sure the week previously had been warm. Okay, so I couldn't come to Sweden and not have herring.
Herring plate.
Herring plate. Geoff has gazpacho, which
Not
is
very traditional.
which is
but
not
delicious.
traditional Swedish, but traditionally your favourite. That is not too bad. So this is the cafe in the Museum of Modern Art, which also offers the most spectacular view. So, bon appetit. So unlike in the UK, it says here, the Swedish struggle for women's suffrage was a peaceful one. Prominent women travelled the country with the purpose of shaping opinion in favour of universal and equal suffrage. Suffrage succeeded in 1913. They collected 350,000 signatures in favour of universal votes for women. They won. Awesome. It was so cold, I kind of said I needed my gloves at one point. It was really sharp cold, and considering that it's August, it really was a bit challenging. But as a place to visit, it's absolutely wonderful. So I hope you enjoy our little tour around. I thought I'd say a little bit about the Dollar horses, which are the painted horses that we see everywhere in Sweden, but especially in Stockholm. It's a really lovely little thing. It's become quintessentially Swedish. It dates back to probably the 17th century, from an area of Sweden that was a horse area but also made furniture, and they think these little horses were carved mainly for toys for children from the leftover scraps of furniture making. The very earliest ones weren't painted at all, and then they started to be painted in the same red that the buildings were painted in, basically because that's what they had. Then over the years they started to be more decorated in the style of the sort of folk art decoration. The horse apparently symbolizes strength, faithfulness and wisdom, and apparently they now represent the spirit of the Swedish countryside and traditional craftsmanship. So that's rather lovely. They are literally everywhere, so they keep us company wherever we go in Sweden. This is
Calabin restaurant, and almost vegetarian, except for the moose meatballs that are on the menu.
It's a cool little place. It's absolutely lovely. It's a sort of event, live music, cultural, right on.
Just like us, in fact.
Absolutely. It's our spiritual home. It's where we belong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were going to come here for dinner, and Geoff is going to have vegetarian moose meatballs.
No, they're not vegetarian moose ball. They're vegetarian meatball. There's not a moose in sight. There's not a loose one, a moose.
Not even a vegetarian moose.
No.
We're going to have dinner, but I had so much pickled herring.
Yeah. Janis hasn't ordered anything at all because we had to sit down on this lunch.
I can't eat anything. I had so much herring, and the herring is wreaking some sort of terrible revenge. Anyway, but Geoff is going to have his pretend moose meatballs.
Yeah.
I'm having orange wine, which is lovely.
And I've got I've tried something new. This stuff is called red wine, which some people told me is quite nice. So I thought I'd try it and see.
You've never had it before, have you?
Well, I can't really remember. One of the great things about being 77 now, she can't remember anything. So everything is wonderfully new and novel.
Fantastic.
Cheers, let's try it, shall we?
Who are you again? Surprisingly, we're not actually drunk. We haven't actually had anything to drink yet. This is what we like when we're sober.
But it's only 8 o'clock in the evening.
True. We're going to a jazz club after this, so we will witter more at the jazz club. This is Geoff's vegetarian moose meatballs, quite some other things.
Pickles and beetroot and potatoes.
Yum yum.
The slimmer's dinner.
Are you happy?
Ecstatic.
So there's a whole other bar in here. Should explore down here. Oh my goodness, they've got an art gallery as well. This is crazy. I am liking Stockholm more and more as the hours go by.
You locked me up last fall. My torn is learning how to do the boogie. Now I can't go back. Oh, they call me the boogie man. Nobody can do it like I can. They call me the boogie man. Yeah, yeah. I'm a king size boogie man. And cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go. Come on, y'all.
So Geoff, what we need to do is go up these steps and do some kind of fancy dancing. Okay.
Yeah. Without breaking our legs, you mean?
Go on, go on, off you go, go on. Don't go too far, because now I can't see you. No, come down a bit. You disappeared. Okay, come on, do your thing. No, down a bit more.
I wanna put on my boogie shoes.
Okay, 2 steps down.
Yeah.
That's better.
I wanna put on my boogie shoes. Oh yeah.
Okay, that was a moment in time. We're going to blackmail Geoff with that later. have arrived after 4 hours at the beach at JKe&x to be rewarded with this fantastic sunset. Geoff has been driving, 4-hour trip. It was huge. And this is what's behind us. Very, very nice. So we're going to have a little walk along this beach. I'm probably going to bring Flynn down here in the morning, because why would I not? I'm going to have a walk along here and watch the sun go down. Sweet well. Come into Linköping, home of the lake, because we noticed something that we just couldn't resist, because it sounds so wacky. This apparently is a big deal in Sweden, Swedish Match Company, and this is the Match Museum. You got to do it, haven't you? It's quite a nice square. This is not too bad, quite characterful. Flynn's exhausted after his walk along the lake. Let's do it.
Jönköping som den utvecklades och spred sitt ljus över hela världen. Säkerhetständstickan, made in Sweden.
Lussi lilla spelade för 4 och 5 och Lussi lilla spelade för konungen så, men Lussi lilla så träder hon så lätt upp på tiljan. Det vore 2 herrar som lade ihop ett råd. Vad ska nu Lussi lilla för spelandet få? Lussi lilla så träder hon så lätt upp på tiljan. Nog ska Lussi lilla för spelandet få, till hon ska bli jungfru ifrån oss mera gå. Lussi lilla så träder hon så lätt upp på tiljan. Och Lussi lilla ropar till brodern sin och kär.
This entire area was a match producing complex, a huge factory complex. And it turns out that in fact matches were invented in JKe&x by the Lundstrom brothers, and they were an incredibly enterprising couple of brothers. They were into everything. They were into timber, they were into steam, they were into a lot. The desire to be able to make fire easily was incredibly important. There was a tradition from Holland all the way into Sweden that you would pay a young boy to bring fire in a wooden clog. Somebody who'd started a fire, they would then share that fire, and children would go and they would put like a little burning thing in the clog and they would take it and they would give the fire to a neighbour, because they'd been able to start it, because starting fires was really, really hard. I guess it's a very cold environment, one of those real necessities that people needed fire to survive. And there was a local joke that said maybe if the child had been wearing the clog that had the fire in it, perhaps they would have run faster. Seems a little dark, but what a fascinating story. I mean, obviously it is fascinating, but it has its dark side as all. match production does. The working conditions were awful. Certainly at the beginning, children did the same work as everybody else and got paid a quarter. And one of the interesting things they were talking about was how they had to change the thinking of ordinary people. For the start of the Industrial Revolution, when people were used to working in fields, they had to school people differently. They had to be disciplined. They had to show up to o'clock. They had to not drink. They had to be educated to be a workforce. And so schools and churches, not that there were many schools, but certainly churches, were instrumental in educating the populace. Basically the idea being you were a good person if you did good work, and the children would be working 10 hours 6 days a week, and they could go to school, but they went on a Sunday if they showed up at all, because they had to work the other 6 days of the week. Housing conditions were terrible. It's a very difficult history. But anyway, fascinating, unexpected. We're in the birthplace of the match. Who knew?
Han spelade, sur lite nu, och fångade så han spelade. Jag gick mig framåt vägen, där mötade jag en bonde. Sur lite nu, där mötade jag en bonde. Och när han bältet mitt fick se, han trodde det var hin onde. Sur lite nu, han trodde det var hin onde. Söndagsmorgonstund, jag skulle till kyrkan rida. Sur lite lur, jag skulle till kyrkan rida. Så satt jag på mig bältet mitt, det glimma som solen vida. Sur lite lur, det glimma som solen vida.
So we've just pulled in at a service station, and it is a fairly normal service station by all intents and purposes, but there's a weird thing here that I thought I should show you. This is the Cliff Burton Museum, and it's on this service station. So hold on, we shall go closer. And for those of you who don't know who Cliff Burton is, he's the bassist from Metallica. I'm not personally an enormous fan. We didn't even know who Cliff Burton was. Why is there a museum to somebody called Cliff Burton on a service station in Sweden? But here it is. We're not going to go in, guys. So I'm really sorry if you're a Metallica fan. Just really weird. Apparently he died in Sweden in 1980 something, and so we have this museum to him. Anyway, it's apropos of nothing except that it was randomly just here, and I thought, well, I have to show you. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it?
Out there chasing rainbows, jumping over hedges, flying like a sparrow through the rain. I've been taking chances, losing my umbrella. I could grant your wishes 1 to 10. Just say when. Just say when. Just say